So welcome everybody. Yeah, hi, I'm Bill Gilliland. I met most of you. Um, and if I haven't met you, we're meeting virtually today, which is kind of cool. Um, so I don't know what you thought 2020 was going to be like, but it's going to be different, right? And so we have to figure out a new plan. We have to figure out a new way of going about it. And it seems like every week something changes. So we're continuously updating this and continually adding to it and continually figuring it out. We have a broad range of people on here. I've noticed, who's on here. We've got a number of people in another number of industries. Most of you are related to the building industry, but some of them aren't. Some of some people we invited on as to check it out as well. So we're going to cover some general stuff here, and then we will get into if there's things that you want to talk about, and we have time for. We will have time for questions towards the end. We can get into that specifics about what's going on in your world. And then if not, we can catch it up online. So let's jump in. So here's the deal. COVID-19 disrupted the race. All right. And here's sort of my vision of the thing. By the way, I'm not here to talk about the medical side of this. I think we're getting enough of that in the news and from people we know. There are some medical issues here, but I am here to talk about the business and the economic side of this thing and how to handle it. I've been in business for a while. I've owned a number of businesses, and I've been through this sort of economic, and this one's a little different. They're all a little different, but I've been through sort of 4 downturns, and how do we handle that coming out of it? All I know is that the good metaphor that I've been using is, look, the pace car is out. The pace car is out. We don't know when the restart is going to be, but there's going to be a restart. Now, I've talked to people, 4 different businesses are in 4 different places right now. A few businesses are booming, okay, as part of this. A few businesses are relatively unscathed or unchanged. They're going about business a little differently, but they're unchanged. A few businesses are down or going to be down. And then there's some who are completely out of business. But it doesn't really matter. There's going to be a restart, okay? So when the pace car is out, and it is out now, we need to be ready for that. We don't know when it's going to be. It could be 30, 60, 90, 120. We just don't know when. But we got to be ready for the restart. So I want to get you focused on thinking about what we're going to be doing to survive this and then to thrive on the way out of it. Okay? So that's where we're headed today. All right, so let's talk about the 11 steps to get through this thing and to begin to thrive and start to thrive. So we all know people who are blaming. We all know people who are excusing. We even know some people that are still in denial that there's anything going on out here. Well, you may be in denial that it's a thing or that it's overblown, but I can tell you that it's real. I mean, we're at home. We're taking it seriously. We're communicating more on Zoom. There's a lot of things happening out there. But people are still making excuses and they're still blaming, all right? We call that yellow thing the point of power, all right? Below the point, we all know somebody who it's never their fault, okay? One of the things I know, step 1 is we got to get out of excuses, we got to get out of blame, and we got to get into responsibility, okay? Now, let's look at the root word of responsible, or the syllables of responsible. Response, able. So we're able to respond. So how are you going to respond to this thing? Now, a lot of you have already got response plans in motion. There's been, like this week, there seems to be even more sort of, hey, this is how it's going to be. Let's respond. But every week brings something new. Every week brings something different. How are we going to step up, take ownership of this, and be responsible? So the first step is to move out of excuses and blame and move into responsibility and responding to this in a positive manner, okay? So we've got to move from, a bunch of reasons into a bunch of results, okay? So we're moving from powerless to powerful. So step 1 is get above the point. Get out of blame, excuse, and get into responsibility. Now, we all do this, and we get up, there's all kind of things. We're by ourselves, we're alone. We got to take we got to do things a bit differently. So let's move. So step 1. Step 2 is lead. Okay, we're all business leaders, okay? We've got to be positive. Now, we don't need to sugarcoat it. We can be real, but we need to be the positive. We need to be the voice of clarity, okay? Now, in any great crisis or any great thing, there's danger, and then there's also opportunity. So we need to be looking for the opportunities as well as being respectful of the danger. All right. So lead, be positive. The first thing is we got to remain calm. I think most people are over the basic panic of it all. Look, we're not out of the woods on this thing. There are a lot of people there. Look, I'm not trying to make light of it. We need to be compassionate. Okay. There's going to be people who get sick. I had a client the other day who's had a new employee whose boyfriend's mother, he lives with, has the virus. And so essentially they're all potentially infected. They had to close it all down. But, we have to remain calm for it and look for that opportunity, look for that silver lining in it. As the leader, we've got to be the voice of reason. Okay. We can't be panicked. We've got to lead our people. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about your staff, but we've got to be, that's the number one thing that I've seen through this thing is people are nervous. Our teams are nervous. Our subcontractors are nervous. People are nervous. As the leader of the project, of the leader of our teams, we've got to be out in front of them, and we've got to be the voice of calmness and the voice of reason. All right. Look, sometimes there's, we may get some big wins through this thing. Some people will, but most of us, we're going to be looking for smaller wins. We're going to be looking for those incremental things where we can win little by little by little. Okay. So let's look on the positive. Let's find a small win and then let's celebrate it. The next one, look, understand what business we're in and what business we might be in. Okay. I was talking to one of my clients who's a HVAC guy. He sells these lights, these UV lights, right? Well, he's still selling HVAC systems. He's still doing service. Of course, we're doing it very differently. Lots of hand washing, lots of sanitizing, lots of that sort of thing. Suits, we've got suits to wear, But hey, look, but the UV light thing, that was a shift for him. That's something he hasn't really been pushing a lot. He always had it. Well, great. There's a big demand for that now. People want to take advantage of having some UV, because UV, for those of you who don't know, UV light killed any kind of bacteria, any kind of virus. All right. I used to be in the water treatment business at one time, and UV was one of the technologies that you could use, as well as ozone. All right. Look, we got to get enough news, but sometimes we don't want to be glued to the newspaper, or the news media, the channels, the news, on the internet. We cannot be paying. Look, sometimes less news is better. Get your news from reliable sources and get what you need and get off. All right. I would recommend that you take a break a couple of days a week. If you have a normal work schedule, maybe Saturday, Sunday, you don't pay any attention to the news. That's just a way for people to get worked up. Because you and I both know, you come in to a new week and then, everybody else is, the staff is panicked again because they sat home and worried about and watched a bunch of news. We've got to be calm and be the leader in this thing and bring them back down off the edge. All right. You need a new 90-day plan. Whatever your plans were, they've changed. If you don't have a new 90-day plan, then you're going to need to get one. I'm going to give you pretty much the steps to do it right here, not all of them. And then I'm also going to give you an opportunity a little bit later if you want to sit down with me. Look, anybody can call me. I'm giving away, I'm doing a bunch of pro bono every week just to help people get through this. I've also got an opportunity, if you do want to invest in yourself, to get involved with a group of people. I believe right now, we need to get out of our own heads and start using the collective power of a whole bunch of business owners together. So that's what we've created in order to get you a new 90-day plan, and in order to get us all through this, to help us survive this thing and then thrive on the way out. All right, step 3, positive communication. In any crisis, you talk to any first responders, you talk to military people that are trained to deal with disasters, that are trained to deal with an outbreak of, bacterial warfare or anything. Communication. All right. Now, as a leader, we got to be positive. We got to be all over it. All right. So the first people we got to be communicating with is with our team. We've got to be the leader. We've got to be there. Now, what I'm recommending is at least one team meeting per week and one-to-one with all your team members. Now, if you're a huge team, maybe the managers have to have a one-to-one, but we've got to be all over. We got to know where they are. Okay. It's got to be, and it's a little bit less, hey, here's what we need to do. It's a little bit of how you feeling. What's going on? What's going on with you? How are you weathering this thing? And by the way, if anybody on your team is like, I don't want to be here, I'm scared to death, or I'm compromised, you need to let them go on home and stay there until this thing's over. All right. That's just part of who we have to be. Okay. We've got to be communicating our vision and our goals and how we think this thing is going to shake out. I'm going to give you my vision in a little while, but I don't know, but what are our vision and what are our goals? My suggestion would be that maybe your goals don't change a lot during this thing. We got to figure out how to be in business with what we're doing. Well, look, for most of us, we're slowed down a bit. That's just the way it is. Okay. Passion and enthusiasm. All right. As the leader, you've got to be passionate. You've got to be enthusiastic. It doesn't mean that you've got to be, bubbly all the time or anything, but you've got to lead with passion, lead with enthusiasm. That's what leaders do. They get out in front of this thing. Okay. And we'll talk about that. You've got to be talking to your customers all the time. They're nervous wrecks, a lot of them. You got to be letting them know what you're going to do. Okay. That's, your existing customers. You got to let them know how it's going to come down, what's going to happen, how you're dealing with them. All right. Here's a critical one, I believe, for most of us. We've got to be talking to our suppliers and understanding what they're going on. They're going through some similar things. What are we, how are we going to do this? There's going to be an impact from this thing. Look, China was shut down for 3 months. A lot of things come from China. There's going to be a blip. There's going to be some things that are going to be, there already are some things to get. We got to make sure that, the stuff is sterile when we get it. I heard of instances of lumber, being stopped at the dock and had to be sterilized, had to be before anybody would take it. So we've got to be in close contact with them, understanding our supply chain, understanding how that's going to impact our business. Okay. If you can't get certain things, how are you going to get them? What are you making arrangements? I mean, I know most of the building supplies have worked it out. They stack everything on there. You go by, you pick it up. No, you don't have to talk to anybody. You keep your 6-foot distance. That's all working. And look, as leaders, we got to be out in front with our community, positively saying, hey, we're out here. Here's what we're doing. By the way, we're lucky that in this particular industry, that for the most part, we're still up and running. Okay. If we don't do it right, then we're going to get shut down. Okay. So we've got to A, do it right, and B, we've got to communicate to our community and to our suppliers and to our customers that we're doing it right, so that everybody understands that we're in this and we're doing it properly. Okay. So that communication plan, if you don't have that in place, you need to be working that out. Like when, how much, when are you going to do it? What methods are you going to use? My suggestion is a lot of this should be done on the phone or by video. It's as a leader, you've got to be doing more of this than you've ever done in your life. Okay. Step 4, virtual is the new normal. All right. Listen, we got cool technologies. We need to use it. We need to learn them. We need to use them. Most of my clients at this point are on something like Slack for communications. Most people are getting pretty savvy on Zoom. The phone still works the best. Hey, look, learn to integrate. I've got all kind of stuff I'm learning about how to integrate different softwares and mailing programs and a bunch of stuff, but it's normal. We got to get used to it. This is going to make us all better. Okay. Human management. Okay, great. We should be managing people tightly anyway. And by the way, this applies to subs as well for you builders out there. We've got to be managing our people. We've got to create policies. We should have this in place anyway, but the policies may have to be tweaked. What are your policies? Like if someone's working from home, what are they going to be doing? Is it pretty free flowing as long as they get their work done? Or do they need to check in? Do they have to clock in? Do they have to clock out? Are they having meetings? What are our policies for safety? What are our policies for hand washing? What are our policies for 6 foot? A lot of people now have to go, we're going to job sites. We can't pile a bunch of people in a truck. We got to send them in multiple trucks, or they got to take their own vehicles. What's your policy around that? What's your policy? When are you going to have your meetings? Like I said, I recommend one group meeting and I recommend one-to-one meetings. Generally, I like to do the one-to-one meetings towards the end of the week, the group meetings at the beginning where we can start talking about the goals for the week, but then one-to-one, how you going, you need any help, whatever. Reporting, how you going to report? What are you going to measure? What are your metrics? And how are you going to do your planning? We have to do planning daily. You know, every person who works for you should be giving you a to-do list for the next day. Every person should be giving you a to-do list for the next week. Every planning, we've got to have the metrics, the planning, the meetings, and for it. You know, if you want some help around that or just want to talk about it, give me a call. All right, send me a text, whatever. All right, customer service. How are you serving your customers? Pick up the phone. You're going to hear me say that 100 times. Pick up the phone and call the people, right? All right, communication. We talked about your communication plan. You can't over communicate. We've got to go hard here. All right, this is go time, y'all. This is the time to shine. All right, this thing could last weeks or months. We've got to get used to this virtual environment. It's certainly looking like at least through May. I mean, I'd be shocked if it was any sooner than that. It could last longer. All right. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll be sort of done by the summer, but who knows? We'll see. All right. So get used to the virtual, get used to the cool thing, get used to, even if it's just your phone and FaceTime, whatever, get used to it. All right. Some of you are very tech savvy. Some of you are not. It's time to become tech savvy. Step 5, cash flow. I hope most of y'all are all over this at this point. There's been so much information out there. There's been a lot of misinformation. Maybe I can shed some light on that because I've got a couple of businesses and we're involved in. But just know right now, cash is king. All right. So there may be some things that you could look at on your costs. What are some things that you could get to that maybe you could reduce or think? I found one the other day that's going to save me $1,000 a year. Doesn't sound like much, but $1,000 is $1,000, right? There's a lot of things that we could do right now so take the time to go through what your costs are and see if there's some things that you don't need to be buying anymore. One of the huge culprits are these little things that are on automatic, you know, every month they hit your credit card. All right. What is that cost that needs to go away? Right. Hopefully most of y'all are doing this, but hopefully you've talked to your banker and got your credit lines extended. Now you may not need them. You may need to apply some credit cards. I hope all of you've gone in and done the PPP loans, or at least in the process of them. Some of you might need to apply for some EIDL loans from the SBA. You can apply to both of them, by the way. You just can't take both of them. All right. So if anybody has some questions about that, I think I can shed some light on that from a business owner's standpoint of view, not necessarily from a banker or a lawyer. Or therefore, I've got it. It's going to be interesting to see how the SBA responds. Look, you've got to. So there's two pieces to cash flow. There's the supply side, like where's the cash coming from. So with your suppliers and partners, it's a great time to go back to your suppliers and get close to them, work out deals, maybe negotiate a year-long agreement. Negotiate how you're going to pay, how they're going to pay. But you want to be a good partner with your suppliers. Understand that we're all in this together. Okay, we got to work through this together. If there's some big projects or something that you thought you're going to do, maybe an installation of a computer system or something that wouldn't be normal, or some big system, you may want to postpone it. If it was going to cost a bunch of money, you may want to put that off for a few months. If you're ready to go, maybe it's going to help us get through this. Maybe you want to move it up. But from a cash standpoint of view, obviously postponing major, capital improvements or things like that, you may want to wait. Now, we don't want to tell our customers that because we want them to keep going with the capital improvements. Cost structures. You need to look at your cost structures here, okay? And understand that there may be some things that you need to change. You may need to figure out how to reduce your costs. You may need to look at your margins and figure out how to be a little bit more. But in any event, we got to look at our overall cash flow, cash in and cash out, and we got to be on it. I would say weekly. A lot of you, it's not the way you bill, but you're not used to that. But I would say weekly. Okay, we need to understand what's going on with our cash weekly right now. the more, if you're in good shape, a lot of my clients are in good shape. They just extended a credit line, doubled it or whatever. The banks were still loaning money. A lot of y'all can just make a call to your banker, get it up there. If you need to get credit cards or whatever to get you through this thing, I think that we've got to do that. All right. Step 6, get the most from your people. All right. We start with good people. We give them some great rules, communicate, motivate, reward them. Yeah. Okay. So this is about mindset. Remember I talked about people. All right. A lot of them are scared. Let's just get it out there. They're still scared, and they get scared every time they look at the news. They don't know. I had a realization the other day that most of us in business are used to moving from, we're used to problem solving. We're used to moving from finding something wrong and fixing it. Okay. A lot of our people are not used to that. Okay. We've also used to moving, growing a business a lot of times is like a controlled crisis, moving from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and just moving forward all along. We've got to get them out of fear and give them something to focus on. That's where the clarity of vision comes from. That's being clear with what you expect of them. That's being clear of what's reason. I'm not saying don't be sensitive, but we've got to get them focused on what it is we want them to do. Now, they may not get it done as fast as we'd like, but we got to get them out of fear to focus. All right. Your people should have standards. We call them KPIs, key performance indicators anyway. If they don't have any, then we've got to start looking at what would be. And maybe the new standards would be things like, there'd be things like, how you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10? Give me your rating. They've got to turn that in every day. On the scale of happiness, where are you? These are the kind of things that we've got to be into with our new people, new standards, new ways of measuring them. It's not just, how much work did you get done today? We've got to be more in tune with where they are in order to get things done. We've still got to be a leader. We've still got to expect things out of them, but we've got to check in on them. And we've got to make sure that they're reporting to us on a regular basis. Some of your employees may need to move out of being a cost center to a profit center. Most of you, if you have a bookkeeper or an office person, they might be a cost center for you right now. Well, maybe they have to start picking up some things and delivering some things. Maybe they're the ones that need to be doing all the legwork on these loans and working with the banks. They need to be saving you money. Maybe they need to go through every single bill and figure out and ask you questions about whether we actually need it or not, or is this right? They've either got it. Some people have got to move from costing us money to either saving us money or making us more money. Train and retrain. Okay. This is a great time to get some people trained up. This is a great time we've got to be all over this. We got new standards, new things. We got to continuously be training. This is actually, I think, going to make us better managers. I came to a realization not long ago that the last management book that I had heard of anybody reading that was a 1-minute manager. That's got to be 25 years old. I mean, there's a gazillion books on leadership, but we've also got to be great managers through this, in addition to being great leaders. All right, next in command. What happens on a battlefield situation is somebody gets hurt. Who's the next in command? They step up, okay? In business, we get this wrong. Usually what happens is somebody doesn't show up for work or is not feeling good, great, they don't show up. Usually the boss has to fill in, whoever's above them. Okay, rather than having next in command step up. We've got to have a great organizational chart and a next in command sequence for that. Okay, what's going to happen if it doesn't happen? Okay, this applies for everybody. This applies for all kinds of people. All right, let's just check in here a minute and see how everybody's doing. If you got something, you want to chat or something, just hit the chat. Let me know. Everybody good? Anybody got questions so far? All right, we're going to keep rolling then. Now let's see what we got here. All good, perfect. All right, good. All right, a couple of video. You don't need to see my ugly mug through this. All right, let's go. I'm going to get back. All right, listen. If you're in a situation, like I talked to a builder last week, he had 4 starts on the books for March. Well, he's got no starts on the book for March right now. They've all been postponed. It doesn't matter. He's got enough work for a couple of weeks. So we're looking for other work right now to keep our guys going. keep as many as you can as long as you can. Okay, whether that's through the PPP or whatever. If they're good, if you have somebody who's maybe shouldn't have been there anyway, this is not a bad time to go ahead and let them find a new career. But look, keep as many as you can. Look, when this thing restarts, you're going to need them. Okay, I mean, that's just a fact. Okay, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to start from square one. There's a lot of restaurants and whatnot out there that are really they're going to have to rehire. There's still going to be like a new grand opening for them. They're not, I mean, if they can keep half their people, it'll be a miracle. I mean, these people have to find other things to do. All right. Step 7, marketing must shift. Your marketing's got to change. All right. We have to keep marketing. We have to keep marketing through this. All right. The message has got to be a little different. It's got to be more compassionate. But we've got to keep marketing through this. All right. This is one thing you do not want to stop. This is one thing look, I have a client that's in marketing, and 80% of her people, they've like, we're done. We're not doing anything right now. And it's all because of uncertainty. I think it's a bad mistake. I've upped my marketing. Okay. I believe that the message must be different. I think we've got to be out there as leaders. We got to be letting people know what we're doing. Urgency. It's urgent that we continue to market. Okay. Because I'm telling you, if you stop marketing now, 3, 6, 9 months down the road, you're not going to have any business. All right. It's just the way it is. I would say increase your marketing, not decrease. I didn't say increase your budget. I said increase your marketing. Okay. You may not be in a position to increase your budget. In fact, you may have to decrease your budget a little bit, but keep the marketing going. Find other ways. Go virtual. Okay. 100% of you should be doing Facebook lives. 100% of you should be doing YouTube lives. 100% of you should be looking for some way to come up with something cool that's virtual. And we want it to be viral. Obviously, that's not a play on words here, a pun or anything. I'm not trying to be funny. That is about being viral on the internet, not medically. Okay. And y'all all know the term virtual and viral. If you can do something that's viral out there right now, it costs you little or nothing, maybe the cost of a videographer or some editing or something, and get it out there. Do something, do something good for people and film it. All right. And just say, hey, look, really appreciate the team stepping up and helping these people out, whatever it is. But if you can go virtual and go viral, then that's going to be good for you. And it doesn't really cost any money. All right, you got to know your marketing numbers. For some of you that have known me, have been to some of my stuff, you know that we look at 5 areas to grow a business. We're going to still look at those 5 areas of marketing. The first is your number of leads. You're going to get a certain number of leads, but you're not going to convert them all. Okay, what's your conversion rate? All right, so your conversion rate times your number of leads is going to give you your number of customers. Okay, clients, patients, whatever you call them. That times your average ticket is going to give you, and times the number of times they would buy from you. If you're a builder, they're only going to buy once. If you're a HVAC person, you may have 4 times a year where you check it out, or twice yearly or something, where it's a regular thing. But anyway, there's an average. When you multiply your number of transactions in a year that you would have with a customer, times the average ticket, times the number of customers, you'll get your revenues. And then your margins is what you get to keep. All right, so we work on margins, number of transactions, average ticket. We're going to work on your conversion rate, and we're going to work on your leads. All right, you got to know what those numbers are every single week. And you got to be measuring and testing to see what marketing is working. If nothing else, at least customers, at least leads and conversion rate. Okay, so as far as I can tell, marketing and sales should not stop doing this thing. The message should be different. But we should be out there prospecting. We should be out there looking for business. Otherwise, we're not going to have any in a year. All right. Plus, if you got a way to help people, we should be doing that for sure. All right. We got to sell with compassion. All right. Our tone has got to be different than it has. We've got to tone it down. You cannot be a hard salesperson in this environment. It's not going to work. Okay, people didn't like it before, and they really aren't going to like it now. If that's your style, it's not going to work for you. Okay, We've got to have a serious customer focus. We got to understand where they are, what they're up to, what they're doing, how it's all working out. Okay. Focus on what the customer is. Find out where the customer is mentally. Find out what, because a lot of them have been sitting at home by themselves. Okay. They sometimes just want somebody to talk to, but we're still selling. Okay. I did a sales call on the phone the other day. It was really interesting. I hadn't done one in a long time that was just straight up a scheduled appointment just on the phone. It was fine. It worked great. Okay. So we can still use the phone. We can still use Zoom. Okay. I can't say this more. If you've got people, first of all, you should be communicating with your clients. You should be communicating with your past clients. You should be communicating with your prospects, and you should be communicating with your referral partners. Get on the phones. I can't say it any plainer. Get on the phone. Pick up the phone. Dial them. Go through everybody on your phone and see who you need to call, and just check on them. Hey, I'm here. I'm a resource. I'm on the phone right now with you, and I'm telling you, I'm a resource. I'm here. If you got questions, you just need somebody to blow off steam to, I don't care. Call me. Get on the phone and let everybody know you're there. This is about the future. This is not necessarily about getting a whole bunch of new business today. This is about the future. Okay, this is the long game. Increase, not decrease. Take the lead, be a leader, let the world know you're out there. Okay. The cool thing, I love what the Builders Association is doing by giving all these webinars and all this information. And I get there's probably a bit of webinar overload. That's okay. There's a ton of information. You can go back and check this stuff out later. Good. All right. The enlightened people and the people who can do it and the people are on this call. The people who've made the effort. Good for you. All right. This is the time to build relationships. A lot of the people you want to build relationships are sitting in a room somewhere. They can't wait to talk to you. I called all my clients, and out of just to give you an average, usually if I called every single client, out of 10 of my clients, I'd probably maybe get 2 or 3 of them to actually answer the phone. They're busy, right? They're progressive business owners. They're busy. All right. When I called them the other day, I got 8 of them to answer out of 10. There's more calls than 10, but I got 8 of them to actually talk to me. Okay. Because they had time and they wanted to see what was going on. They wanted to understand. It's a great time to build relationships. Call your clients, call your former clients, call your prospects, and call your strategic partners and get on it. Every day there ought to be some time built into that for you, particularly if you're the leader. This is the time for you to do it. All right. Step 9, customer service for repeat business. Look, I know some of you don't have repeat business, or you have, it's every 7 years or something. Think about your referral partners. Do you want more referrals? Get on your existing referral partners and keep them. Get on your existing customers and keep them. Okay. Talk to them. I'm going to say it again. Get on the phone. Go above and beyond. Give great customer service right now. Make up stuff. Do extra stuff. Talk, whatever. Some of my clients are hearing from me. Usually we chat about once a week. Some of them a little less, but most of them are hearing from me twice a week right now. In some way, somehow. I'm doing one group because I think people need to get out of their head and get into a group, and I'm doing the individual calls. Okay. So build loyal, critical non-essentials. That's what C&E stands for. I first learned this from a guy named Patty Lund. Look, there are things that you can do in your business that if you don't do them won't hurt your business, but if you do them, they'll help your business. Like thank you cards and, giving them donuts or having coffee available when you can actually have them into your business, or giving them Coca-Colas or something. But what could you do now? You can send gifts. You can call them and say, hey, I'm thinking about them. It's just, they're critical. But if you didn't do them, it wouldn't hurt you. But they're going to notice if you do them. It's going over and beyond. Having, sending them muffins or a pie or something. I mean, there's all kind of things. Taking people face masks. I mean, whatever you can come up with, that could, that's showing that you care. All right. Do it virtually too, and be visible. All right. If you do something good, film it. All right. it's not bragging. It's just putting it out there, letting people know. Be in the marketplace. Everybody's sitting at home. They got Zoom. I mean, I don't know about you there. You know, if you're tired of Netflix, you know, it's time to get virtual. It's time to get visible. I haven't had time to look at much of that stuff. We've been going hard. 80-20 rule. What the 80-20 rule is called Pareto's principle. Most of you know what it is. 20% of your business comes from 80% of your customers, which means that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers. 80% of your referrals come from 20% of your referral partners. Just understand it. So that top 20% of your referral partners and your business and your prospects and your all that, you've got to, and your clients, you've got to stay in touch with them. Okay. You've got to go over and above for them. If you can get to 100% of your customers, do it. But if you have a ton of customers, then 80-20. Use that first. Get to the top 20% and make sure you're staying with them. We've got to keep our customers at this point. Step 10, you may have to change your business model. All right. You want to be proactive about it. You want to be adapt. You want to look for the opportunities. You want to, it's like the UV light that my HVAC guy was looking at. You know, we're looking for the opportunities. We're adapting. That's a different, look, most of you are going to have to change your sales process, period. Your business, the way you do it, you're going to have to do it differently. You know, you're going to have to learn how to share a screen. You're going to have to, you know, what are you going to do about plans when you're going over them? You're probably going to have to put them mail them to them or something so they can be sitting there looking at a set and you can look at a set. You know, maybe you're sitting there with your phone. You got to work out what your sales process is going to be. Look for the opportunities. Look for the small changes you can make. I'd rather have 100 small changes of 1% than one change of 100%. Okay. How do you change the business model? You're not going to just come out and reverse. Most of you are going to be looking for little tweaks. Maybe then, hey, by the way, if you think this is going to end in June or whenever, no, we're still going to be doing hand sanitizing. People are going to be reluctant to shake your hand and hug you and all those kind of things moving forward for a long time. All right. Get used to it. More people are going to be used to this. They're going to be like, why should I come out there? We can just do a Zoom. Great. If you're not used to that, you got to get used to it. Make the 1% changes, the 2% changes. If you need to upgrade your business model. All right. Continuously make it better. This is a great time to be working on all those systems that you have in your head of how we do things that you've never put on paper. Okay. Great time to do that. It's really tedious, but you know what? It needs to be done. Maybe that's something you can put your person who's a cost center on right now. All right. You got to understand the formula for change. The formula for change is D times V plus F has got to be greater than R. D stands for dissatisfaction. Right now, the level of dissatisfaction is very high. Vision is pretty high too for the most part. Most people want to change, okay? But part of our job as leaders is to get real clarity around our vision. Once we get that D times V, then F is the first steps, okay? And the first steps in this case is a 90-day plan. You've got to have a 90-day plan. What are you going to do? Who's going to do it over the next 90 days, okay? And it's got to be greater than the resistance. The resistance to change right now is very low. So when you multiply your dissatisfaction times your vision, you hit it with your first steps. It's pretty easy to change right now. Okay. But most people got pretty high vision. Most people got way dissatisfaction. We got to get those first steps in place or you're never going to overcome the resistance to change. You're going to go back to the way you used to do it. Here's some things that you might look at changing. What is your products? Okay, the guy who had 4 starts, who all got canceled in March, he was already doing some commercial remodeling and he wants to do more. So we started talking about like, who should we be contacting? Well, guess what? There's a lot of buildings with no one in them right now. If some of these people have money, you know, some of these people would say, hey, look, over the next 60 days, we could do some stuff we could go ahead and do some projects. So, you know, if we can get started on them. So at least we could begin that business now. We can go hard in that business, looking for prospects, getting the pipeline full so that when we get back for the restart, we may be starting in a different business, different commercial business. Are there services that you could be offering that you're not doing now? You know, he's doing a bunch of repair jobs that he wouldn't have normally done. He's sort of become a handyman. All right. because we're doing them because we want to keep the guys with. Maybe we have to change our pricing. Maybe it's up, maybe it's down. Delivery, how are we delivering our product or service? Okay. Staffing, obviously some of the staffing may have to change. We may have to upgrade people. By the way, it's some great people out there right now. If you're in a position to hire, or you need to be hiring people. Okay. Sometimes you just have to break your model and start over. Just depends on your business there. Every business is different. All right. Step 11, plan for 90 days. All right. Look, you guys that are builders, if you built a house without a plan, I mean, what would you get? I mean, it's the same thing as going into the wilderness without a map or a GPS. You're going to eventually get lost and screw it up, maybe die. All right. It's a 90-day game. Best estimates that I can think of, it's a 90-day game. All right. So we're trying to figure this thing out. All right. If China's any indication, we know it's at least a 90-day game. Look, with my clients, we always plan in 90-day increments anyway. We do 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 90 days. So we're always doing a 90-day plan to move us towards our longer-term goals. Right now, it's about surviving and then thriving. Okay. So 90-day game. What are we going to market and what are we going to sell? Does it need to change? Does it need to upgrade? Do we just need to do more of what we're doing? We need to do less of what we were doing. How are you going to deliver and charge? What's your plan for that? What's your plan for communication? What's your plan to bulletproof yourself on the people side? Survive first and thrive. What's your plan? Look, I can help you with a plan if that's what you want to do. All right. I'm going to give you a couple bonus steps here. Step 12. Let's look to, this is where it can be exciting for some of you. Look to invest. All right. Warren Buffett says that he buys when people are fearful, you know. So when others are greedy, he's not buying. Okay. He's greedy when others are fearful. That's just the thing. Listen, the seasons always work. Okay. Summer, fall, winter, spring. The seasons also work in economies. It's been about 7 or 10 years since our last economic winter. We're in economic winter here. Here's the cool thing. Spring 100% always follows winter. Spring 100% always follows winter. I want you to hear that again. Spring 100% always follows winter. We've got to be ready for the restart. Okay. Look, stocks are down. If you're in, you know, if you invest in the stock market or you want to learn, you know, this is a good time to get in. If your time frame's 10, 20, they may go down some more, but they're going to 10, 20 years till you're going to retire. Great. Pretty good time to get in. All right. If you got some investment money. All right. There are going to be companies for sale. If you're in an industry where there are other people, there are going to be people to say, the heck with this, I don't need it. There are going to be some companies that are going to be just, that are going to be, that people are going to want. One of my friends in the restaurant business, he's in distribution, food distribution. You know, talk to one of his clients who's like, hey, I'm done. I'm going to retire. I'm going to sell this thing when this is over. I've been through enough of these things. I'm tired. Okay. It's going to be a great company for sale at the end of this thing. All right. Customers. Some people will not survive this, period. And the ones that don't, guess what? Their customers have to go somewhere. All right. I hope, you know, that by doing these things, we can help as many as possible get through this thing. But at the end of the day, some customers are going to be displaced. There's going to be opportunities. I need you to be looking for those opportunities. All right. Act now with it. Get looking now. Start doing your research now. Start finding the deals now. Okay. Step 13, last one. Look, over deliver on customer service. Take care of your clients. Go crazy. Give them a lot of stuff. Give them more than they ever asked you. All right. Stay clean. Look, I watched, I didn't watch, there's a thing going around of a doctor in New York. The bottom line is, look, wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Stay 6 feet apart. I think we'll be all right. Okay. If anybody's sick and feeling bad, make sure they don't show up or send them home. Make it clear that you have very high expectations around this on all your businesses and job sites and all that thing. Just don't put up with any junk. All right. Provide sanitizer and soap and all this stuff that you need. Okay. Put your people first. Put people first. This is a time to remember what I said. When you talk to your team, find out how they're doing, how they're feeling. Are they okay? You know, a lot of them have been stuck by themselves or stuck with a bunch of family people that they or, you know, just now getting to know. Okay. It's an interesting, you know, be nice, remain calm, and lead. All right. Look, and help people out. Whenever you can find a place to help people out, just do the little things, do the nice things there. All right. So let's wrap it up. Look, if you want to make a 90-day plan, you know, hit me up. I can tell you how to do it. All right. I want you to get a piece of paper out right now. I want you to write down 5 things that you want to take action on today. You can type in your top 1 in the chat. I would love that, to see that. Maybe we'll talk about a couple of those. I'm going to answer some questions in a minute, and then we'll follow up. But I want to tell you about a bit of an opportunity. Look, this is if you want it, okay? This is not, once again, no hard selling, all right? I get my clients together once we did it by Zoom last time, once a month. Once every quarter to do planning. And I've decided that instead of taking another day to do it, I would divide it up. Number one, we got to get in groups. We did it by Zoom last time a couple of weeks ago. So I'm putting together like a 30-day program, a couple of, 4 sessions, get together as a group. We do some planning. We do some brainstorming. We do some debrief. Look, I'm going to give you a bonus one-to-one debrief session with me. Get in the Facebook group. Hey, digital replays in the full workbook. It's all about a $2,000 value. If you're interested, you like to do it, hit me up. Let me know. I can tell you how to get involved. Or if you just want to do it, then it's lnkw.co/30-day biz plan. So let's take some questions, and let's put in your number 1 thing that you need to do, or your number 1 learning from today, into the chat. That would be awesome. And maybe I'll call on a few people here to do it. Communicate with customers. Thanks, Shannon. All right. Who else has got their number 1 thing that they need to do? Let's put it in there. Or if you have questions, let me know. Then I got one more thing I want to wrap you up with. I need a few more people in the chat here. I'm going to call on you. It's a threat. Thanks, Gus. Okay, John Lane, let's see. Let me read some of these. Nick says, that was from the brother before. Going to have these charts available to us. Yeah, hi, Judy. Yeah, I'll make it. This thing is recorded. I'm going to send it to Megan, and she can give you the link to the whole thing. If you'd like a link, just hit me up. I can give you whatever. Shannon says she's going to communicate with customers. John Lane says he's going to make mailers and send them out. Yeah, look, direct mail is a great thing to do right now. Gus says thanks. Pete, not overthink and launch new interactive program, riding the learning curve. Cool. Yeah, Pete, you want to talk about that? That'd be interesting. I might unmute you there and see. Let me see what that means a bit. Let me see if I can get Pete on here. Pete, can you, if you unmute yourself, you can chat here. You there?
Bill, this is Megan. This is not Pete. I don't know how I got logged in as Pete. I apologize.
Okay. Well, Megan, what were you talking about? Not overthinking.
Oh, I've been working on some new ideas for members, and I don't want to launch them without them not being ready, but also just kind of riding the fact that things may not go quite as planned, and people will probably have more grace for that than I expect.
Oh, I think you get a pass in this time right now for a lot of things. So yeah, go take some initiatives and take some chances. I like it. Good stuff. Hey, thanks, Megan, for having us on this call.
Yeah, sorry I was secretly hiding as Pete.
I don't know. Sorry.
On here too or not. I might be on instead of him, so I apologize to Pete out loud if you're also
Yeah, well, we can send him the rerun if he's not on. Yeah, cool. All right, that's cool. All right, thanks, Megan. Let's see. All right, let me get back in here to the chat and see what else we got. See if there's any more. Yeah, Michelle says great info, good. Yeah, look, I'm glad you got value out of it. Yeah, Nick, thanks for that. Yeah, listen, I appreciate everybody playing 100%, playing full out, participating on here. A lot of people didn't make the, the opportunity here. Yeah, it's all good. Cool. I'm excited to do this. If you're a member of another organization who would like for me to do something similar to this, only updated, let me know. I'm happy to do it for for other associations, other member organizations, even just your clients or your customers. Listen, I want to leave you with a couple of things. See if I can get out of this. So I want you to understand that the race is going to restart. The question is, are you going to be ready? Are you going to have a 90-day plan? Are you going to be ready for this thing to go? And it may be multiple 90-day plans, but at least we get it. So if you want some help with that, hit me up, call me, whatever. It's, like I said, it's totally free. Let me give you my information here on the last page. Look, my number, you're going to get Beverly if you call 828-348-1787. But if you call my cell, we're having some technical issues. Usually it rings in my office, but we've got it forwarded to her right now. 540-290-2389. You can text me. You can call me. However you want to get me is fine. William Gilliland at Action Coach. Great thanks to all of y'all being on here. I want to leave you with one last thought. And that is that Coach Wooden, John Wooden, who I think was the greatest coach ever. Those of you who don't know, he won 10 national championships with the UCLA Bruins back in the day. No one's even come close. I think he's good, but he's also a great business coach. Okay, and his dad gave him a card that he kept in his pocket. He gave it to him, I think, when he graduated from elementary school, either that or junior high. And he looked at it every single day. And you want to know why this guy was such a success? Listen to this, and I'll leave you with these thoughts. Number one, be true to yourself. Number two, make each day your masterpiece. Number three, help others. Number four, drink deeply from good books, especially the good book. Make friendship a fine art. Build a shelter against a rainy day. Pray for guidance and give thanks for your blessings every day. So I give thanks for y'all. I appreciate you all being here. Thanks for playing full out. Meg and I will get you the recording when we're done. Until next time, all the best.